Hello, welcome back to federal taxation. As we discussed last week, we're going to go over our project, group project today. I handed out papers earlier in class, and you all worked in your teams to answer the questions, which is great. What I'd like to do first is go over the objectives for this project. Now, the main objective I want for this project, for all of you to get out of this, is to understand and to know that there is more to taxes than just paying your taxes every week out of your paycheck, or at the end of the year filling out your tax form and dreading and wondering and scared that you're going to have to pay. This project has research that will help you to go deeper and go beyond just paying your taxes. Some of the objectives is I want you to be able to identify the organizational structure of the federal tax authorities. What role do they play in our taxes? Do they have control over where they go? Do they have control over how much we have to pay in? What is the federal tax authorities? Who are they? I also want you to be able to deconstruct the components of how, where, and why we pay taxes. Why do we do it? Does the money go to something good? Or are we just paying all the politicians with it? I want you to be able to know and understand where our dollars go. I want you to recognize the tax treatments in other countries. Do they collect taxes like we do in a paycheck? Do they charge taxes when you buy something? Do they charge taxes when you eat at a restaurant? And what do they do with the money once they get it? Do they use it like we do? Or do they use it on something different? Do they use it better than we do? Or do we use it better than they do? I also want you to be able to summarize your project. I want to know your feelings about what you learned. I want you to tell us if you believe things should be different with our federal or our global taxation. If you were in charge, what would you do with it? Okay, so now you all were in your groups and you all answered your questions, right? All right, very good. Are there any questions before we start going over them? No? Okay, great. All right, so the first question was, what are the 5 filing statuses? Now, here are the answers. Did everyone get those answers? So there's single, married filing jointly, married filing separately, head of household, and widow. Everyone got that one? Good. That was an easy one. The next question was, what portion of unemployment compensation is taxable? Group A, what did you get?
We got the answer.
You got that answer?
Yeah.
All unemployment compensation is taxable. Unemployment compensation replaces your income when you get laid off from a job. So that is considered income and it is taxable. The point of unemployment compensation is to help you pay your bills, help you get by until either you find a job, a full-time employment, or until the weeks allowed for you to collect ends. Next question, what does EITC stand for? And it's Earned Income Tax Credit. Now the Earned Income Tax Credit is taxable income, and it's for low-income people, and it's based on how many qualifying persons you have in the household. Now the key word there is qualifying persons, right? You can't have Uncle Joe who comes and stays with you for a couple of months a year and claim him as your dependent and try to get earned income credit for him. Okay? Next is the following statement true or false concerning the EITC? A qualifying child is a child who meets certain relationship, residency, and age requirements. This was true. You can find that in chapter 6, right? Okay. The next question was the same based on the first one, but instead, a married couple who live together all year can use the filing status married filing separately. And of course, it's true, right? Any married couple any couple that is legally married can file married filing jointly. It's their choice. Oh, I'm sorry, separately. It's their choice. The only thing is it's not advantageous to file married filing separately because the IRS not penalizes you, but you can't claim a lot of deductions when you file separately versus jointly. Now, a married couple who live together all year can use the filing status married filing separately. But if that married couple lived together for just the first 6 months of the year, can they still file married filing jointly or separately? Now, I put the jointly in there, sorry. But it is true. If you're legally married, you can bounce around from year to year and do married filing jointly 1 year, married filing separately another year. You can just keep going back and forth. Yes.
Does this apply to the law that says, like, if you're, like, living with a person for 7 years, that you're, like what is it, like, socially married, or no?
Okay, that depends on the state that you live in. That would be based on a state thing. For federal, no. You have to be legally married in the eyes of the federal government.
Not though that.
Common law, that's
yes,
called.
Yes, common law.
Right. California has common law. Massachusetts does not. Okay. Okay, that was the end of the questions. So how did we all do? How did we all do? Group A?
We got all but one.
All
but
but
the
one?
last one.
Oh, the last one. Very good. That's good, though. B? Okay, C? All right, so there's no ties today. So A gets to choose their topics first, and then C, and then B. Okay. Okay, so you have in front of you your topics that you can choose from.
We're gonna do the second one of if, like, the rich get richer, is it, like, true?
Right, okay. Let me just find that page. I'm sorry. Okay,
Go to that face at the bottom.
for the files?
And then
Oh,
you
there
have
we
to go
go.
to it says no, it has the no on it under devices.
Yeah, I have it here.
Oh, it's
Thank you, yeah.
New technology. Nope. It stopped. Silly.
These Mac computers, so different than the other ones. I apologize. All right, so
Project, just double click it.
okay.
And then if you hit the green circle, it'll expand it. Yeah.
Very good. Thank you very much. Sorry about that, everyone. And I lost it again. There it is. Okay, so our choices are Where do your tax dollars go? If you had the power, where would they go and why?
Yeah, that's one we want.
That's the one you want. So, okay, very good. And B, Group B, I think, I believe you said number 3, which countries have the highest taxes? How is the money used?
Yep.
Okay, and C, you said, is the American tax system fair? Are the rich getting richer?
You.
Yep, now that's interesting also. So the requirements for the paper is it has to be 8 to 10 pages, as it states in your explanation sheet there. Also there you'll see your rubric to help you write the paper and make sure you meet all the criteria. Of course, double space, 12 point. You can use a PowerPoint. It's not a must, but it's a nice idea to use. You can use video, but the video cannot be longer than 3 minutes for your presentation, and that's accumulative. So you can have one for 3 minutes, you can have one for 2 minutes, one for 1 minute, but no more than 3 minutes for your presentation. The presentation is 10% of your grade, and your paper is 10% of your grade. Now, I'm having the paper due a week after the presentation. And the reason I'm doing this is because I want you to be able to listen to the questions that are being asked of you, answer those questions, and see if you want to include them in your paper. Somebody might ask you a point that you didn't put in the paper and you want to put it in there. It's always very helpful in writing the paper when you have more input. Okay? All right. Any questions?
Are we all writing our own paper on this, or is it one paper?
No, I want it one paper. I want, and I want it to be one smooth paper. So I don't want you to write a piece, her to write a piece, and him to write a piece, and you just choppy put it in there. It has to be smooth. It has to be all one paper. Everyone during the presentation has to answer the questions. They have to present the piece that they researched. And they have to be ready to answer questions on each piece. Okay? And that means that if you wrote about a certain portion and Johnny wrote a certain portion, well, Johnny should be answering what you wrote about also, and vice versa. Okay? Good. All right, anything else? Yes.
You said it was due a week after. Will you do revisions? Or like, will you be in like office hours to like go over the paper? Like before we pass it in, or no?
If you really need to come see me first, that's always fine. My door is always open. Hence, though, that the fact that I don't have an office here. But I'm always available during the times that's on the syllabus. You can always reach me by text or email. I'm always willing to come and meet you in the evening, early evening at the library here on campus. Okay.
All right, thank you.
All right, thank you. And no other questions?